Alright guys, in this video, it is going to be more of a rant, but I do want you guys to understand that we go through many lessons and many journeys in our life, within our life, and I think that there are some people who learn these lessons a little bit faster, and then there's people who generally tend to have a longer journey while learning lessons and tend to take life a little less seriously. I don't think that taking life less seriously is a bad thing or anything, but I do think that taking life more seriously is a very good thing to do, especially if you have the right focus, you have the right channel, like you know exactly how to channel the seriousness, and you actually can be playful with it. You could be creative with the seriousness. And I think that there's just this one thing about the 80-20 rule, like the Pareto principle. You can cultivate, 80% seriousness in your life, 20%, playfulness and creativeness, and even 80% creativeness and 20% seriousness, depending on what balance you feel is necessary for your life. We all have different masculine and feminine traits within each of ourselves. So I think that there's a cultivation depending on what balance that you feel like cultivating for this year, for this 5 minutes, for this, general self. And I think that there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And I think there's a lot of things to really see. But first and foremost, guys, I want to, ground yourself with, what is your mentality? What is your emotionality? How do you feel? What are you thinking on a day-by-day basis? Are you observing your thoughts? Are you thinking about your thoughts? Are you, questioning everything? Are you considering questioning everything? Are you being open-minded to other people's, perspectives and perceptions? Are you also being altruistic? Are you being like a hero? Are you being heroic? Are you being altruistic? Meaning, are you setting yourself up for the best high vibrational self for you and for all people? Also, it's about creating the best version of yourself and giving this being away. Man or woman, creating the best version of yourself and giving this person away. And I think that there is this facet with, if you make enough money, then you are good enough. If you have a specific body, then you are good enough. And I think that we generally lack the heart, and we generally tend to be way too religious and actually significantly less spiritual in our lives, which is more like, you do that, you need to act like that. Clearly I'm good. Clearly I'm this type of way. And I think that there's this aspect that we miss ethical principle. We miss ethical principle on a multitude of levels. It's always the person who's speaking is never wrong. It's always that type of the customer is always right. And you have to actually understand that no, the customer could be wrong. No, the person who's talking could be wrong. And you have to be open-minded enough and have a open perception to be able to see and discern and have the right spiritual discernment to whether you should follow somebody or not. I recently just unfollowed like 300, 400 people. I recently redid my entire Instagram. I redid everything. I started simplifying and minimizing my life. I started minimalizing it in a way that I only allow the good things, the high vibrational positive things, the things that are of high creativity to come into my aura. And I've created barriers and walls for the right things. I've created repelling and attraction for the right or the wrong things. So it's ultimately I'm attracting all the right things and repelling all the wrong things that I no longer need. They no longer resonate, and I am really, really, really happy. I'm starting to be more patient. I'm starting to realize that the journey is the destination. And I know that you guys are thinking the same exact thing, that you guys are cultivating on the same exact wavelength. And ultimately, guys, most people, they will never take accountability. They will always say, but what about me? But what about me? And they'll always play victim mindset. And you have to understand that it's fine to stand your ground. It's fine to spit the truth, but it's also important while you're doing that to take accountability and be a victor of your life. For me, I felt like I was wronged in a few different ways, in a few different manners, in significant in respect and in a multitude of things. And I shut down some very long-term friendships And I could tell this with the people that I work. I could tell this through the people that I've known for my entire life. I could tell this. And do I always have to direct it at people's faces? No. But in this type of aspect, it's sometimes you have to rid yourself of people who you've known forever because they only have a certain projection of who you are, who you could be, and all this type of stuff until they see who you are. And then you can rekindle whatever type of friendships, whatever type of family ships, whatever type of relationships later on, once they see who you really emit in your aura and how you really portray yourself and how you project yourself and how you help people and how you cultivate people. And nobody's going to deliver the respect until you cultivate the respect for oneself. And that's what extreme stoicism is. It's taking accountability for my own emotions. It's taking accountability for my own actions. It's taking accountability for all of my decisions, for all of my experiences. It's also taking accountability that, see, the big thing about stoicism and accountability is actually a really good thing, okay? People who don't want to take accountability is generally because the things that they've accounted for are generally negative. Like the things that they've done are generally negative. That's why people don't want to take accountability. But they always want the credit. They always want the credit when something goes right. But the thing is when you take action and you take accountability for the actions that you've done that are wrong, then you will have easier actions and accountability to be able to receive the gift of when you are right and being praised when you are right. But people do not understand this. And people also don't understand that when you are heavily religious, there is a part where you are saying that God is outside of yourself. And the whole cultivation of this is really a mishap. It's really a mishap. The only thing that connects all of us is our beating heart. The only thing that connects all of us is our beating heart. That's exactly where God resides. You can give it a name, or you can give it a face, or you can give it a language and all this type of stuff. But there is no language. There's a language of the heart. There's a certain emotions, and we all feel those emotions. We all feel the spectrum of emotions. We all feel the spectrum and the differentiation of the discernment of the mind. We all have these different types of correlations within our bodies. That's the only place where we are in unison, one being, one whole, indivisible. We're undivisible. If there is projection about deep division, let division go. Division is duality. There has to be the illusion of separation. There has to be. And so until there's the deciding factor where I'm going to return intuitively, I'm going to return internally, and I'm going to meet my brother, I'm going to meet my sister internally and realize how I've wronged myself through different mirrors and different aspects of people. So I don't want this to go too long. I really only will do these for 10 minutes or less. But here's the cultivation, guys, is start building better habits to simplify your life. As you build better habits to simplify your life, going to the gym, lifting heavy, eating healthy, keeping specific carbohydrates, eating very healthy carbohydrates. Stop being gluttonous. Stop being, lazy. Stop being a POS. Stop not making your bed. Stop being, so materialistic to where no material satisfies you. No, you are changing the perception of how you receive people on social media, how you determine status. Let's spit the facts. The last minute. Status is unseen. Status is an unseen symbol. It is unseen. It is unseen. Status is unseen. It is your heart. It is your mindset. It is the way that you create yourself in your physicality. That's the only really general expression. And obviously how much money you make. But the thing about this is some people are born into money and have still low status. They still have a low perception of who they are. They still have a low aspect and belief system of who they are and what they can be and what they could be and what their potential is and how to build this potential. They don't simplify their lives. They complicate their lives. They complicate everybody else's life in their life. They complicate other people's lives. They gossip about other people's lives. And you have to get to the facts that status is an internal symbol. It is an internal inner state of knowing an inner state of being, an inner state of feeling. Okay? There are people who are rich who are poor. Understand what I'm saying? There are people who are poor who are rich. There are people who are wealthy who are generally depressed. There are people who have nothing and they're happier than everybody. See, you have to find the balance. You have to find the cultivation between both. You have to find the cultivation between both. And I believe Epictetus said that it's not by always wanting more or it's about having more. It's not always wanting more that makes you rich. It's about actually requiring less. So we'll leave it there, guys. You guys have a wonderful afternoon. You guys have a wonderful day. Peace, much love. Stay tuned for these videos. Obviously, check out my YouTube. Check out my website. I do have different types of things like supplements. I have, a clothing store. I'm obviously selling my course. That is actually on a very high discount right now. It's only for $77. It is a $3,000 course, and I'm just doing it for $77. And I'm spreading this amongst the love. I'm giving high value away. I'm giving high value away consistently. And I think that there's this big correlation that we could really cultivate and build ourselves. And as we build ourselves and we transmute our pain and our generational curses and our generational trauma into gratitude and gratefulness, and we transcend it and transmute it into, amazing habits and having better habits, then we build excellence within our lives. So check out my YouTube, check out my website, check out my supplement store, check out all these different types of things. You can find those things in the links in the description. I'll talk to you guys soon. I love each and every one of you guys. Peace.